Good morning, SJ. I'm Sal Nuzzo. Today is October 28th, and this is the SJET Advisory Show. Today we have our periodical look into the world of Straight Jesuit sports, a student feature, the hot seat, and a Halloween treat to cap the show off. First up, we have CSN featuring Connor O'Hara. Let's take a look.
Welcome back to another episode of 50 Yards. I'm Will Turboff, and that is QB1 Connor O'Hara. So let's go ahead and get this started. Connor, you just came back from a major injury. What was that whole process like?
That was incredibly difficult, but having a good support system with the school, my family, and friends, it made it a lot easier once I was able to come back and start working out.
Who would you say that you model your game after?
I'd say mostly a Tom Brady or a Peyton Manning type person.
Nice, legends there. What's your favorite movie of all time?
Favorite movie of all time is The Accountant.
And I've heard you have a nickname. What is it?
It's Juju in Hollywood.
Nice. Last question. You were recently nominated for VIPE Houston Football Player of the Week. What does getting that honor feel like?
That feels amazing, especially after last year, coming out after like 3 weeks and getting that award. It feels amazing.
Well, that's going to conclude this episode of 50 Yards. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Will Turboff. Next up, a student feature featuring none other than Will Turboff.
Hello, my name is Jonathan McCool. Welcome back to SJ in Focus. Today, I have with me Will Turboff. Will, would you like to say anything about yourself before we get started with some questions?
Yeah, I'm just, I do SJET. Yeah, this is exciting.
So, Will, junior year is usually regarded as the hardest year of high school. How has that been for you?
I would actually say that the past 2 years have been harder, and maybe that's because of the hybrid model and just a little bit more flexibility, but I don't think it's been the hardest year.
Okay. So, Sarah is back, the test prep by Ray Das. So how much happiness does that bring to your heart that you have to do that again?
I've had some contact with Ray in the past few months, and I just let him know that we needed Sarah back. So thankfully it's back, and
Wow.
I've been on top of it.
So you were one of the facilitators of bringing it back.
Yes.
Beautiful. I'm glad that we brought that out to the open. I'm sure that everybody on campus who's hearing this now has you to thank.
Yeah.
What is something that nobody on campus knows about you?
Man, I'm really an open book. I wouldn't say there's one thing that people just don't know about me. I mean, this is the second segment on SJET today that I'm on, so you all know quite a bit about me.
That's a pretty good thing, I say. You don't have any secrets.
No,
You'd say that?
no secrets.
Beautiful.
Or do I?
Okay. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like an
knows?
open book, but you don't know what's written in the margins, you know. So you're a big part of Crusader Sports Network. How did that start?
Yeah, so Crusader Sports Network was started by a few guys that have graduated very recently, and I just thought that was something that I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to commentate sports games and sometimes be behind the scenes. So now that there's restrictions on how many people can go to the stadium here, that's really expanded, and we're really excited to see what else we can do with it.
Why do you enjoy being part of Crusader Sports Network? What does that do for you?
I really just love being in that booth and talking for 2 or 3 hours. I like to talk.
Do you see the skills you've built in SJET and Crusader Sports Network as part of your career later in life?
Yeah, like I said earlier, that's sports broadcasting and just radio and television. That's something that I've always wanted to do, and I'm blessed to have an opportunity to do it in high school. So hopefully, I have an upper hand getting into a school that focuses on, has a great program like that, and maybe you'll see me on TV one day.
Maybe one day, like 20 years on the NFL, we'll hear your voice?
I think you will.
Oh, I think you will. Okay. Hey, I would love to do it. I'll be like, hey, I interviewed that guy in high school, and I'll be still like in medical school paying off student debt. So we'll see what happens. What do you think about the Kansas City Chiefs?
They're the best team in the league. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is no doubt about it the best player I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh, finally. Somebody who can confidently say that he's the best player ever.
You know, not ever yet, just because he's
he's
so
the best
young, but, you know, Tom Brady is the greatest football player of all time.
This last question is shamelessly stolen from Miss Smith's AP Statistics class. And I hope, Miss Smith, that you see that what I'm about to ask, it reinforces my answer. Cereal or milk first in the bowl?
I'm not a big cereal fan, and I'm also not a big milk fan. So this is a tough question, but I am going to have to say cereal.
Yeah. Sorry, Miss Smith. I think in class you said you were like, milk first was okay. I don't know about that.
I just think it goes against the rules of science. I'm not sure which science, but there's got to be something in science that says that's not right.
Well, it was a pleasure getting to know you better. I think we hit it off. You're like one of the smartest guys here because of this last answer. Honestly, my brain is enriched from that. This has been SJ in Focus. Thank you so much. This is Will Turboff. I'm Jonathan McCool. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next up, we have the hot seat. I hear Coach Kenny looks a little different.
Welcome back to Season 2, Episode 2 of The Hot Seat, a show where we rapid-fire questions to get to know our teachers. Coach Kenny was unable to join us, and we're here with our newest computer science teacher, Mr. Sowers.
Bam!
Who are you?
My name is Tyler Sowers.
What do you teach?
I teach computer science, web page design.
Where'd you go to college?
Sam Houston State University, where I studied criminal justice and computer science.
Where are you from?
I'm from Houston, Texas.
Where'd you go to high school?
I went to St. Pius 10th High School just down the road here in Houston.
How long have you been teaching here?
This is my very first year.
How'd you find us?
So I came here from teaching a martial arts academy called Soldier for Christ Martial Arts. I taught it at several other Catholic middle schools in the Archdiocese. And one principal from there recommended me to Mr. Fay here. And Mr. Fay asked me to come in to interview about bringing the first martial arts academy at the high school level to Strake Jesuit. And that was a year and a half ago. And 11 interviews later, here I am at Strake Jesuit.
What's your favorite thing about Jesuit?
So I came from the Martial Arts Academy where I did everything myself. I was a one-man independent with a mission to keep Christ first in my program and to spread that to other schools. To go from that to here where all the faculty and staff work together with the same mission in everything they do, that's the biggest thing that I like about Strake Jesuit.
What was the best part about quarantine?
The best part was spending time with family. I have a wife with 4 kids and the oldest one's 5. That was definitely the best part.
What was the worst part about quarantine?
Definitely the de-socialization with all of us.
What was the best piece of advice you've gotten?
Is be persistent. Work hard for what you want, have a goal, and work to get it. I mean, you can't stop every time you fail. You're gonna fail. You're gonna fall down. You have to get up and keep going, be persistent. And I wouldn't be here today if I gave up every time I failed or got told no. Keep God first, and He will bring you places you have never dreamed of.
What karate belt are you?
So I'm a 5th degree black belt in Taekwondo and Hapkido. And it took me 12 years to earn my first black belt.
Who is the best wrestler on the wrestling team?
Oh, that's hands down definitely be Coach Stovall.
Do you know Kung Fu?
So I have not studied Kung Fu directly. Kung Fu is a Chinese martial art, and as I mentioned, Taekwondo and Hapkido are both Korean-based. So the different origins on how they were created and the style. So I have not studied Kung Fu directly.
Bruce Lee or Jackie Chan?
Well, definitely both, because both have a very unique personhood of who they are and how they carry themselves. Bruce Lee was one of the very first martial artists to make it big in the movie business, and he had his own style that nobody could really copy and match. And then when Bruce Lee died, Jackie Chan tried to carry on the same tradition with the same style, and then he decided to try something different. He integrated comedy with his martial arts movies, and that's where he found his niche.
What's the number one thing on your bucket list?
I would really love to travel with my family. We have little kids now, but we still would like to travel at some point together with the family, explore new places, show our kids that there's more to the world than our house and the two places that we go in during the week.
What do you miss least about high school?
Definitely pre-calculus.
If you could relive any day of your life, what day would you pick and why?
Oh, well, there's so many. There's just a couple. My wedding day obviously is a huge a day that you always remember. When you have kids, it's always a huge day. The day I earned Eagle Scout, having an Eagle Scout ceremony was a huge day. The day I earned my first black belt was a huge day.
What's your favorite thing about your job?
I love being here at Strake Jesuit with the open arms of the faculty and staff, and it's very warm welcoming by everybody to work here. We all have the same purpose and mission to be here. We all have different expertise and do our own subjects differently, but we all have the same purpose and goal of being here. Seeing the students of how open arms they are to new things, to the faculty, it's just an amazing environment.
What do you like about the return to normal classes the most?
Oh, definitely being able to interact with the students, because when they're in class with you, you can interact with them, you can talk with them, you can get to know them, and it's much more personable when they're in the classroom.
What do you do for fun?
I'm a dad.
What's your biggest goal?
My biggest goal, we all have the same biggest goal. We have little goals along the way, but I think my end goal would be to eventually hear those words, well done, good and faithful servant.
What's your littlest goal?
To make it through this interview.
And finally, who are you going to nominate for the next episode of Hot Seat?
I nominate Coach Clemens.
Well, thank you, Mr. Sowers. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. All right, perfect. That felt good.
Thank you, Mr. Sowers. Be sure to submit questions for Coach Clemens at the QR code you saw on screen. Finally, a Halloween surprise from our friends at Strake Jesuit Theater.
The monster left my laboratory through the side entrance of the forest, carrying the incredibly mangled body of the professor with him. I rushed out of my laboratory after him, but the creature was faster than I, and he disappeared from view.
Hello, I'm Fernando Ordaneta. I'm with SJET, and I'm going to be interviewing many of the leads from the upcoming Frankenstein show. So, hello, sir. What's your name? Who are you?
I'm Jax Wisdom, and I'm a freshman.
Awesome. So, who are you in the play?
I play the professor.
What's been your favorite part so far about being in the show? What's like any memorable lines, anything of that sort?
Definitely learning the British accent.
Yeah, that's a pretty fun part, I'm sure. And finally, just what are you most looking forward to at your time in theater? I know you're only a freshman, so I guess you've got a lot of stuff to look forward to, but what are you most looking forward to?
Definitely the on-stage plays.
Okay, following up. Hello, sir. Who are you?
I'm Philip Tamayo. I'm a freshman.
Okay, who are you in the show?
I voice the narrator in the show.
Nice. So what's been your favorite part about that?
Although I haven't really been actually practicing it, it was probably doing the British accents. Yeah.
Sweet. Another person whose favorite stuff is the British accent. Finally, what's the thing you're looking forward to the most? I know you're only a freshman, so I'm sure that's a bit of a big question, but in the future, what is the thing that's going to be your favorite part about the theater?
It's probably going to be when we're actually going to do more things, more plays, I guess. It can be anything for me.
So what's your name?
I am Zachariah Roble. I'm a sophomore.
So who are you in the show, sir?
I am Henry Clavel.
What's been your favorite part thus far about playing Henry?
The British accent's fun. It's fun.
A lot of people really like those British accents.
They're fun to learn. It's just something about talking like that is enjoyable.
I guess when you beat them in a war, it's just fun to make fun of them, right?
It's funny. It's true.
But you know, what is the thing you're looking forward to the most in theater? Like, if you're gonna stick with theater, what do you think is gonna be your favorite part when you're looking back at it all?
Well, I really want to try directing in the student-directed one act, so I'm hoping they bring those back. Not if this year, later years.
Ma'am.
Hi, I'm Jillian. I'm a senior at St. Agnes.
Who are you in the show, ma'am?
I'm Victor Frankenstein's wife, Elizabeth.
So what's been your favorite part about doing that thus far?
I would say the British accents are my favorite too. Yeah.
You guys really like mocking the British, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I've always wanted to learn how to speak that way, so it's been fun to practice.
I am Diego Martinez. I am a sophomore.
All right, and who are you in the play?
Victor Frankenstein.
So what's been your favorite part of playing Frankenstein himself?
Obviously the British accent, as everyone has stated, but also the amount of fluctuation when it comes to the lines, sometimes a bit longer, sometimes with a bit of more emotion, so that's definitely something that I was very excited and very happy to do.
Really, yeah, it is nice to make the character your own, kind of give him your own personal spin on him. But finally, what is the thing you are looking forward to the most in theater? Like, are you going to stick with it, or is this just kind of a one-time thing, you know?
I feel like this stage of theater is very, very up for grabs because we don't know what the current situation is with COVID and everything. But I'm enjoying theater. It's always been fun to do ever since I started as a freshman. I plan to stick around, but we'll see where it takes me.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your time, sir.
Thanks, guys, and thank you all for watching. That's all we have for you today, and we'll see you next time. Have a happy Halloween.